So welcome everyone. Ask Me Anything licensing permits with the city of São Paulo and São Paulo EDC. Before you can learn more on our website www.saopauloedc.org. Some housekeeping items. This webinar is being recorded. A recording will be available on our website www.saopauloedc.org. Any resources mentioned during the presentation would also be available on our website. All attendees are muted. If you are having issues with audio, you may need to click on the webinar screen to enable audio. We welcome your questions. Please type them in the Q&A box. We will answer them at the end of the webinar if time permits. Before we move on to the actual presentation, I want to take a time, introduce myself, and then also pass the mic to our presenters so they can introduce themselves to their role within the city of São Paulo. So my name is Marcos Sandoval, and I work here at the São Paulo Economic Development Corporation. I am the business analyst. Um, my number is 510-215-3208. So if you guys need to get in contact in matters of any type of business, please feel free to reach out. And with that, I'll pass along to Jessica Arroyo so she can introduce herself, and then we'll go from there.
Hi, my name is Jessica Arroyo. I'm a permit technician with the city of San Pablo. I used to be in charge of the business license program, which is what Mario does now, and I've been here for 6 years.
Hi, I'm Mario Santos Davidson. I run the business license program here, and I'm the administrative clerk for the community development department.
Hello, my name is Mayra Corleto, and I work for the community development department. I am the senior permit technician.
Hi, I'm Sandra Castañeda Marquez. I am also in the Community Development Department, but I am in the Planning Division, Associate Planner. But I also have worked as a clerk and in the Business License Program in the past. And you'll see later in our presentation how every department has a role when approving a new business license or issuing a permit. So we, feel free to reach out to any of us. We'll provide all of our contact information.
Thank you very much. With that, we'll be moving on.
So I'll start us off. We put together a few slides sort of delineating the business license process. After the presentation, if you have any specific questions, let us know. And we have our clerk that issues business license, Mario, available for any questions. If there's any questions about permits, Jessica or Mara can help, or any questions about zoning or signage, alcohol permits, tobacco permits. I'm happy to answer some of those. But to start us off, just simple process of why we need a business license in San Pablo. Why should you have a business license, or what does it even mean to have a business license? So our municipal code has a chapter completely for business licenses with our processes, our guidelines, and it requires all individuals or entities to pay a license tax for transacting and carrying out any kind of business in San Pablo, again, as required in Title V of the Municipal Code. Business licenses are one of the documents that show that your business can operate in San Pablo. So again, it's a license tax. Where can you get an application for a business license? You can obtain one online at our city's official website at sanpabloca.gov, or you can also come in person. We do have a public counter that is open Monday through Thursday, 7:30 to 4. We have paper copies of the licenses as well. Really important, which is why it's bolded and underlined. Before leasing or purchasing any property intended to create a new business or for a business to be conducted, please verify that the use is allowed in the zoning district by contacting or visiting our office. Many times people have a business in mind, a business plan, very excited, which is completely understandable, find a place that they like and they lease it without checking with the city first. But it's very important to check because there's different zones in the city that designate where certain kinds of businesses can and cannot go. So that's the main thing that we like to for people to think about before signing any lease or purchasing any property. Next slide. So the business license process goes as follows. Again, please ensure that the property address is within San Pablo jurisdiction. We have a zoning map online. You can always call and ask or come in. There is certain areas of Contra Costa County that we call unincorporated areas. They have a San Pablo zip code, so you'll have a San Pablo address, but they're not technically within our jurisdiction. So every time you call, we'll ask for your business address first. That's the first thing we do. We need to make sure it's within our jurisdiction. So we check the zoning for that. So when you call and you ask, you contact the planning division, or they'll transfer you to the planning division. We will verify the zone in which you intend to do business and if the business is allowed in that location. So we'll most likely ask you for your business plan or your business use, as we call, whether it is a grocery store, a nail salon, if it's at home business, if you're doing, an online store, all of that information we need to know. And again, it's because we want to verify that you're within our jurisdiction and the use can happen at that exact location. Next, we would direct you to all of the necessary documents that you need to submit to obtain a business license. And these include outside agency documents. City of San Pablo does not have its own fire district, wastewater district. You need to, if you're going to name your business, you need to get a fictitious business name statement. So we'll go over those documents, but all of those are outside agencies. So we can give you the contact, give you the number, tell you what you need, but you will have to contact multiple other agencies before you can gather all of the information and return it back to the city. Next slide, please. So moving on for some of those documents that are required and also the fees that are involved in obtaining a new business license. How much does a business license cost? The yearly business license fee is $141.80 plus $26.50 per employee. If you're obtaining a daily license for selling goods on the street, such as flowers for Valentine's Day, then there's a fee of $19.90 per day for the first day and $15.90 per additional day. Other fees may apply depending on the type of business. Again, these are very general. We do have a full fee schedule, and there might be some zoning fees that go along with that. So always call and ask. We're happy to give you all the fees involved. But the annual fee that every business is subject to is at $141.80 plus $26.50 per employee. What types of documents would you need for a new business license? This depends on the type of business that you're conducting, but the following are the most common required documents. Again, please note that there could be additional requirements depending on the type of business. For example, if you are a restaurant, you need all of the following, which are a fictitious business name statement or articles of information / incorporation. So if you are naming your business something other than your legal name, then you're required to get a fictitious business name statement, and this can be obtained at the county clerk's office. A fire district to operate. This is required for any commercial business that is operating out of commercial building, excluding home occupation businesses. Again, this comes from the fire protection district. A seller's permit for anyone selling any goods. This is a tax document. Again, everyone collecting taxes for selling any goods needs to obtain a seller's permit. And a health permit, because again, you are a restaurant in this case, so you need a permit from the environmental health division at the county, because they're the ones that inspect the restaurant for food-related procedures. So even a grocery store, any business that has to deal with food handling will require a health permit. If you are a convenience store and you sell alcohol or tobacco, then other documents might be required. So again, it always goes back to where you're located and what type of business you are. We'll give you different guidelines, but these are the main four that would typically come attached with your application to obtain a new business license. Next slide, please. I think that might be it. Yeah, we just have important contacts for all of these outside agencies. I believe these are also included on our website. We have forms here available at the counter, and we're happy to email anyone that's interested. But again, the county clerk's office, the tax and fee administration, EDC is a great resource, fire protection, the health department. All of these are agencies that are used to working with all the jurisdictions within the county and are separate agencies that you would have to contact based on the type of business that you're wishing to establish. And if you are planning on opening a business out of your home, we still have to check zoning. And there is an additional fee, a one-time fee for this of $569 for a home occupation permit. This is because if you're in a residential neighborhood, again, that is intended for residents. So we need to make sure that there is no disturbance or nuisances for the neighborhood. So you must obtain a permit and sign a form with some conditions of approval, including noise control, order, or vehicle regulations, not having customers come and go to your home, again, because the primary use of the residence is for residents, and we try to minimize any impact to the neighborhood. So that's a special permit that must be obtained for anyone conducting business out of their home. And we're happy to walk you through that process and explain all of the conditions. That $569 fee is only a one-time fee. And then annually, you would just have to pay the $141.80 for the business. So this is just when you first open your business. So again, these are some of the important contacts. We can circulate this list if needed. Next slide. So yeah, that is it. Again, just general overview of what the process looks like, what are the steps that you must take, what some of the documents that are required. Of course, another question that we always ask is, if you are doing a commercial business at a commercial place, are you going to be doing any improvements to that space? We need to determine if there are any building permits required. Even if you're just installing shelving, or if you are fixing the electrical plugs, a lot of that requires building permits. So always please be honest up front, and we're happy to help you, walk you through the process and let you know what the permits are, what the costs are, and everything that you need before you can actually open the business. Because the last step for when we issue a business license is an inspection, except for home business. But for commercial businesses, there's always an inspection. So if there is improvements that happen without us knowing, that might delay the process because the inspector will most likely want you to come back to the office and obtain those permits. So always think about location, type of business, check with the city first, see what other agencies you need to go to. Any improvements to the unit, let us know. We'll walk you through the permit process, and then we can help you finalize the business license approval, give you the license, and then of course EDC can work with you for a grand opening and try to advertise your business and make it as successful as possible. So I think that just wraps up the presentation, and we might open it for questions unless you have anything else to say, Marco.
No, I just want to thank everyone. Thank you, Sandra. Great presentation. And I just want to say, again, if you guys have any questions or you guys want to follow up with these resources, my email's here. You can feel free to email me or call the office at 510-215-3208 or my personal line, which is 510-215-3208. So we'll open it now for questions, and I think Kristen, so
Yes, hi. Sorry. So Kristen, I'm on this webinar based on a nonprofit agency that a girlfriend of mine has started, and she is looking for a place in San Pablo. So we're kind of trying to figure out how this pertains to a nonprofit versus how we can operate in different spaces without actually having a physical location. Not sure if this is the right format for this question, but
yeah, I think we would need to understand a little bit what kind of business and how it's performing in different locations without having a physical location, because again, approval is based on location. If this is like a home business, we would go the home occupation permit route. But we would want to understand how the business is operating within the city.
Okay.
And there is fee exemptions for nonprofits, and I'll let
Okay.
Mario speak to that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so for any nonprofit entity, yeah, again, depends where you're physically located, but you would just need to show us a copy of your 501c3, and then every fee would be waived except for the state mandated $4 disability access fee. So your yearly fees would just be $4.
Okay, gotcha. And so we are looking for something where it's going to be basically we're helping women coming out of program or prison or things like that. So we're looking for like a monthly, almost like a farmer's market kind of thing, looking for a place once a month within San Pablo to do something like an event. Just to bring these women together kind of thing. But then the rest of it would be home based out of her home in Richmond. So again, I'm just asking questions as the secretary here for this nonprofit, trying to figure out the best ways to incorporate San Pablo because we do a lot with Ujima and the Alano Club. So
Yeah, we can definitely do like a license, sort of like a consulting, which is like we do
okay.
issue licenses to like contractors or consultants that are not physically located in San Pablo but do business within.
Okay.
But if there is going to be like pop-ups, like once a month or whatnot, if there's like a list of different places where this person would be, gathering or presenting, we can do like a temporary use permit for those. We've
Okay.
done that for like mobile grocery like markets in the past,
Okay.
like kind of like trucks that sell at different locations. We issue like a permit for that. So it's definitely something that we can work with you. We just want to like understand a little bit more once they have a full plan together on the locations where they would like to, come in and offer the services.
Of course, that's fantastic. And we are, like I said, still looking for locations that would
Mhm.
accept us to be able to do this. So
Mhm.
like it's a fact-finding mission for me. But this is
Yeah.
a lot of great information.
Yeah,
We have all
definitely.
of our ducks in a row so far, just not the places yet. And so we didn't want to step on anyone's toes by trying to do something in San Pablo where it's most prevalent um, without knowing how to do it correctly. So
Yes, I will put my contact information in the chat so you can
okay,
email me about that because
thank
you would
you.
definitely have to go talk to planning first
Of course.
to figure out the locations, and then Mario would help you get the license with
Great.
that waived fee as well after.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Christian. Can you hear me?
Oh, Nina, that's my
Good.
girl.
Yeah, hi, how are you? I know you can't see my face, but I'm listening. I just came out of therapy and started to join the meeting. Yeah, it's called A New Way to a New Start. And this nonprofit. I do have my 501c. I don't know if this was the proper thing for us to ask, but I'm glad she did ask the questions because we do need probably a commercial place to go to rent, like she said, once a month. And we don't want to jump into a fundraiser and they'll say that we're not supposed to be at this particular space, So I appreciate you asking, Christian, and I'm going to go into therapy right now because they're going to see me. But please, yes, it's called A New Way to a New Start. Women in Recovery. We work with, trying to basically help the community, uplift women coming out of like West County or just starting their life over again, empowering them to be better with their lives, changing everything they need to change, and offering residential housing maybe and just employment and with the children, basically helping the children. We want to do a back to school thing for the city of San Pablo, like Walter T. Hams or some schools up in Hilltop 94806 area code.
Hey, yeah, no, that sounds great. We can definitely help you through that process. Once I figure out how to put the chat for attendees to see, I'll give you my email, and then yeah,
Okay.
feel free to reach out to me directly.
Thank you,
Okay,
Sandra.
Christian, go ahead. I'm gonna go to physical therapy and we'll talk soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right.
I think the chat it's there. Can you guys see it?
I can't. It says chat disabled for me.
Oh, here you go. So 1 second.
I'm glad she's able to jump on.
Yeah, another thing that I would say if it's sort of like we call it like assembly use where there's going to be like a group of people coming together. It might be easier if she looks for, like she mentioned, schools or other kinds of forms that are already established for an assembly use.
Okay.
It might be easier, maybe like churches or
Okay.
like UGMA, like you mentioned.
Right. Yeah.
If it's that kind of use already, it might be easier for us to sort of like just issue like a temporary permit, because
Gotcha.
if it's like commercial space that used to be a grocery store and now we want to use it sort of like a meeting spot, there
Right.
might be some like tenant improvements for occupancy, like fire
Yeah.
safety that we might have to look at. So that's just something to keep in mind.
No, that's a great comment because I don't think we're looking for something permanent. We're like looking to use the resources that are within the neighborhoods. I think is her big idea. So like assembly use, like you said, so for schools or already places that are already set up to just host us.
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
would be the easiest way
Yeah.
to do
Okay. Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if the chat is open. Oh, there we go.
Is that the correct email, Sandra?
SANDARAC at San Pablo CA.gov.
Okay. Sure, 1 second.
You're muted, Sandra.
Thank you. Yes, so I have my correct name with my first initial at sanpabloca.gov, and then Mario just inputted his email as well.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay.
And then just to add on to what was just being discussed, I know our community services department also has some event spaces.
Okay.
Not exactly sure how they go about renting those or if nonprofits would be exempt from fees and whatnot. But they do have rental spaces available. So
And how would I
that
get
might
a
be,
list of those?
here, I can put some of their contact information in the chat as well.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, I also think they have like a page on the website under community services, but yeah, feel free to reach out to the contact that Mario will give you.
Wonderful. Thank
There's
you
a
guys.
few
Like I said, we're
facilities.
just starting out on this, so it's really exciting. So we're trying to gather all the information and the tools that we can.
Yeah, there's also some like county facilities, like the permanent supportive housing that just opened at 2555 El Portal. They might be working on opening another one next door. So those are people that are already, I feel like, are taking advantage of some of these services through the county and might be looking for more. So yeah, if you reach out to me, I'm happy to give you some
Oh,
of
definitely. Yeah.
those contacts.
The chat just got disabled.
Are you able to see the chat, Kristen?
Yeah, it just got disabled. So I've got 3 email addresses and that's it. You're gonna
Yeah, we just had the email addresses.
Oh, okay. I thought there was something else as far as the resources.
Yeah, it just
Yeah, I just put in a link to the website. It gives that website has
There
all
we
of
go.
the
Got it. Okay.
facilities.
Perfect.
And there's also Vanessa Flores' contact information in there. She's in charge of facilities.
Great. That's fantastic. Thank you.
More of their main line for making reservations over the phone as well. Or yeah, for answering questions about them.
Oh, got it.
Looks like this webinar was just for you, Kristen.
Yeah, this is awesome. I'm glad I was able to show up for Nina, who is the woman who started this. And it's, like I said, it's a big deal for us to try to give back to the community of women, in San Pablo and Richmond and El Sobrante, where I'm from. We're trying to do a lot. So, but baby steps and information gathering. So, and you guys have been fantastic. So I definitely will, you will all be seeing emails from us, with lots of more questions. But it's, yeah,
Yeah, we're
I
happy
think
to help.
yeah, I think we're on the way to a good thing. So,
Well, if there's not any more questions, I will have us conclude our webinar here. I also just want to thank again Sandra, Mayra, Mario, and Jessica for being here and taking the time. And Kristen for being such a great participator. um, but yeah, thank you everyone.
yeah.
Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. This recording will be available through our YouTube. So, Kristen, if you want this video, um, you could follow up with me and I will provide my email.
Okay. Thank you. Perfect.
No worries. Have a great day, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. I really
Thank
appreciate you.
you.
Thank you.
Be safe.